Welcome back, everyone, to another Sidemen React video. Yes, of course. This one is quite interesting. This is 10 kids who became millionaires overnight. What does this exactly mean? I'm not 100% sure. But the first frame is Simon, and they kind of did him dirty a bit. Like, Simon, I'm sorry, but what is this face? What have they done to you? What is happening? So, I'm so sorry they did this to you. I'm so sorry. But, so without further ado, we're gonna get into this video right now.
Welcome back to Sidemen Reacts with myself, Josh, and Vic.
And me
today,
too.
we're looking at 10 genius kids who became millionaires overnight.
So we can copy them and we can do.
Sounds like me.
Jeez. Okay. Come on, Josh. Come on, you're feeling yourself.
Millionaire.
When I was like
mean?
4, yeah, bro, just started selling snails,
Did you waste it all on?
whores, and cocaine.
What the?
Wow.
At the age of 4.
Wait, but you became a millionaire at 6?
Oh, again, yeah, again after that.
And on that note, let's watch the video.
Yeah, I was like,
Have the capacity for great creativity, and sometimes that can translate into big bucks. We'll show you some absolutely incredible inventions made by children that made their creators a ton of money. You might be surprised by how simple yet life-changing
Is this
some
gonna
of
make
these
us
creations
sad?
are.
yes, what do you mean? It's gonna make us sad.
It
Catch
is.
up on the latest videos from the things. Now, let's
I hope they're all
begin.
stupid.
Making bacon.
Bacon.
There are few things
What
in
the-
this world as satisfying as biting into a crispy strip of perfectly cooked bacon. But anyone who has ever been splattered with bacon grease knows that preparing bacon can be a real pain sometimes. Thankfully, there's now an easy and
That doesn't
painless
look like
way
bacon.
to cook up
Yeah, it
large
doesn't.
quantities
American
of bacon
bacon.
right at home. Grease is the nemesis of the bacon fan, since it not only splatters, but can soak into the bacon, adding even more fat and calories. When she was only 8 years old, Abby Fleck came up with a way to avoid cooking bacon in a pool of grease. The making bacon
Okay.
device is so simple that you
What?
don't even
I've
need
used
oven.
one like
Just
that.
place the bacon on the
Okay.
stove.
What?
So it comes
Really?
simmering
I've
in
never
its
seen
own
it.
grease.
It was gross.
Oh,
Microwave.
I've
like
seen
it.
that. Yeah, I
It's a
remember seeing
fantastically
that.
simple plan, and Abby even made her first prototype out of a
So you can make a
plastic
bacon
coat
sandwich in
hanger.
the microwave very
Finally,
quickly.
She ended
And
up
it's
being
decent.
able to patent her idea, and then struck a distribution deal with Walmart. Her grandfather helped her finance the first 100,000 models, and it turns out that was a great investment.
Go on
This
the
small
granddad.
piece of
Yeah,
plastic
go on the
will
granddad.
give Abby millions of dollars. Now all we need is a simple gadget for making bacon pancakes.
While she was doing that, I was
Wait.
playing
There are
Spyro.
so many incredible things to be seen underwater that it can be frustrating not being able to communicate about them. This was the situation that 11-year-old Richie Stokowski found himself in during a family vacation to Hawaii. He found himself wishing that he could talk underwater and decided to find a way to make that possible. The process started with some research, which helped Richie determine that there was no current device like the one he was looking for. So he switched
He did one
focus and
Google
started
search.
learning.
Yeah, one
Did some
Google
research.
search.
After the research phase, he started developing prototypes for his device. He contacted the management staff of his local pool and got permission to try out his device underwater. Finally, he created a device called the Water Talkie. This conical device
This is
has
a toy,
blow
though.
valve and a plastic membrane. It may look simple, but allows swimmers to
If it
communicate
works, it
with one
works.
another underwater.
It
By
just-
using the Water
I'll be
Talkie, you can
honest.
tell your friend about a
This
fascinating
one is not
fish
as
from
impressive
far
as the
as
bacon
15
one.
feet away. Richie and his
Really?
brother started a company called Short
Like,
Stack
this does not
LLC
help
and
many
started
people.
getting
Realistically,
orders
It's a
from
toy,
women.
so it's not even a
At
thing.
age
I know
13,
this is
he
a-
sold his
yeah, pause-
company
pause
to
it,
Wild
pause it.
Planet Toy.
I said how much you sell it for.
What the-
It just said.
Josh?
Oh, the product. Was it like 15?
Josh?
No, company. It says company for millions.
How does the first kid get a patent for it? Like when you're 6 or
What's
7 or
happened,
8,
Josh?
you
The
don't know
granddad
what
found
that
it
is.
all.
No, he said he invested.
Yeah, he probably found all the papers as well. Like the
Josh,
parents really didn't even believe
I
in
hate
the
this
kid. And
picture
then
of
his granddad
Josh.
kind of was like, yeah, fuck it.
Like looking at
Probably better get a
it.
big
It freaks
percentage.
me out.
He's doing all the work. You just drew up a little code, hang your bacon over this, and that'll work. And he's figured it all out.
What could we invent? I want to invent something.
Go on, say a word right now. Random word.
Cheese.
Okay, Vic, say a word.
Slicer.
That you thought of a random word. You thought of words so good with mine. Start again.
Yeah,
you go first. Vic. Think of a word.
Yeah.
Plug.
You got a word to do with them.
No, I had my word in my head already. I had it in my head already. I looked at it.
I'm going to go random word generator, and we're going to create whatever the first 2 words are together.
Oh my. Oh my.
Alright, we're going to create a Grey's official.
Right.
Slide
What
door. That's it.
Okay.
Reckless jurisdiction. This is getting deep.
Yeah.
No.
Alright, you know, let's see what they invented, because we ain't got it. We ain't got it right now.
Locker paper. Decorating your locker is a huge part of school for most kids. It's an exciting chance to show off.
No.
your
We didn't have
stuff.
lockers.
I wish we could do that.
Did you?
A little
You
bit
could barely
more
put
cheerful.
stickers on the inside of your locker.
Things to stick
Barely.
to the surface of the locker. 14-year-old Sarah Buckle found that she often had to resort to copious amounts of tape in order to get things to hang in her locker properly. But then at the end of the year,
They hang
she
stuff in
found
American
herself
lockers.
struggling to scrape off.
Not
the
every
pieces of
school,
tape.
depending on their
Sarah
school.
knew that there had to be a better
Yo,
way
let's
to
beat it back
decorate
to
her
draw.
locker and decided to create one.
Ooh.
Her father works for a company
turning
called
up.
Magna Card, and Sarah brought her idea to him. He admitted that his company sold products that were a bit dull, and he was ecstatic with the idea that his daughter had come up with. Not only did Sarah come up with an amazing idea, but she worked to choose colors and patterns that would appeal to kids and make the product a success. The idea was a hit, and major retailers such as Target,
This is actually
Rite
a
Aid,
sick
and
idea.
Locker wallpaper? Okay, that is actually kind of sick.
magnetic locker
So
wallpaper
simple as well.
on their shelves. This brilliant
One of the
idea earned
freaking
Sarah over a
mermaid kid that can talk underwater.
crayon holder. Many adults look back fondly to their childhood as a time when they didn't have any problems. But kids have problems as well. They're just a different kind.
Yeah.
11-year-old Cassidy Goldstein struggled with a problem that all kids know about, and it had to do with crayons. They're a great coloring implement, but they do tend to break and dull over time. Coloring can then become a challenge. In addition to being messy,
What is that drawing,
Cassidy
by the
found
way?
the plastic
I know.
tube
There was a
flowers
butt.
fresh and slip ones.
It was a child's drawing.
Rewind
There
it.
was a naked ass.
I
Wait, what's
got
there?
right doing some gym fails.
His head is in his own arse.
That's on our videos previously. It's not fun.
In addition to being messy,
Wait,
Cassidy
go
found
back,
the
go back, go back,
plastic
sorry.
tube.
Go back to, look at left hand side. Go, that's 6 lines.
Wait!
She promised me a blowjob if I can prove how flexible I am by doing a back bend.
That's what I'm saying. This ain't a kid's thing, man.
What's
His
going
head is
on?
in his own arse.
Wait,
There's a little...
Then she makes me strip, and before undressing herself, she promises me a blowjob if I can prove how flexible I am by doing a back bend.
My,
I
with my
ended
head.
up with my head literally stuck inside my arse.
Oh my
And then the kids
god.
colouring it in as you do.
That's mad. Is this stock?
Not normal.
Do you think this is like? Is that stock footage? That is some weird
That's what I'm saying. I was like, wrong stock footage. They just saw the
Spotlight.
coloring and they're like, oh, this one's
One of her
right.
crayon pieces inside. This made it much easier for her to grip and control, and she realized that she was onto something. She filed a patent for crayon holders and then struck up a licensing deal. In addition to making it
She
easier
didn't
to
strike
use
up a
the
licensing deal.
I was gonna say.
Her granddad did again. It's
Her
always doing the same
granddad
thing.
did.
The waxy surface of the crayons can be difficult for some to deal with, and the plastic holders
Your kid
makes it
turns up with
easier
that.
to use.
Amazing.
Intellectual property owners
Get out.
education
Get out.
foundation for the crayon holder, and was named Inventor
Josh.
of the Year in 2006. The profit she made from her invention completely paid for her college career and helped her get set up in New York City afterwards.
Come
We
on.
can't wait to see what she comes up with next.
Damn.
Math Bundle Box.
New York.
Lots of kids have heroes that they look up to. As far as idols go, former Apple CEO Steve Jobs is a pretty good one. When he was a teenager, Christian Owens was in awe of what Steve Jobs had accomplished. He had gotten his own computer at the age of 7, and 3 years later, he finally got his hands on a Mac. Immediately, he got to work teaching himself how to do
What's
web
he got his
design.
own
It started
computer
off basic at
by the
first,
time he
but
was
Christian
7?
worked hard.
Did his
and in
parents not just buy him
2008,
one?
he started his
I was
own
gonna say, yeah, you're not wrong.
web design, he decided to help other people create their own websites. For a price, of course. At age 14, he created a website known
He
as
had no
Mac
friends, though.
Bundle Box.
100%.
It was inspired
Simon.
by-
Hey,
Yeah,
hey.
I
His
mean,
company
He's
offered
laughing
many
now,
different bundle
but-
well, yeah, now,
They
but
were tough
choose
times,
from
you can
so
tell.
that they could create their own sites.
Van was
Not only
busy.
were his designs great, but his business
Oh yeah,
model
no,
was
he, you know,
creative and
he's banged
impressive.
it now.
He would negotiate
I'm just
with
saying,
developers
he's
for
14. You
discounts
see
on
him,
their
like,
apps, and then
he's
sell
sitting
to
inside,
consumers for
sat
steep
inside all day
discounts.
making
If
this.
enough packages were purchased, new features would be unlocked for all buyers, which created a strong and dedicated community. Just to make things even better, he also donated a percentage of all his profits to charity.
What a good
Aw.
guy.
Do you remember this website before? Where you basically, the guy
it.
sold pixels on a
Yeah,
website.
every single one was an advert, and people just went and clicked him, and he made.
He made millions, yeah. And all it was just one single page where it was just like you'd pay for a square on the website.
Then people get bored and it stopped making money. The end.
Should we bring it back in 2021? It's a Sidemen page.
Can we just sell like space in a Sidemen video?
As in like an actual advert, like Super Bowl.
Our outro screen or our intro screen.
Dude.
You know, pay to be a pixel on the screen.
I
Pixel
do
on the
that.
screen.
I would pay to be a pixel.
I don't think that's going to work very well.
$100.
Damn, $100.
Make sure of it. Hit me up if you want to.
He was 9 years old when Johnson got his first commissioned work. His parents asked him to create some invitations for their annual holiday party, and they ended up being a huge hit with their guests. They asked Cameron to create more cards for them, and they were willing
Please
to
tell
pay.
me it's good.
Over the next 2 years, Cameron collected thousands of dollars from selling his greeting cards and decided to start his
Really
own
hope
company
they do.
called Cheers and Tears. Greeting cards are great, but Cameron decided to diversify and make some investments. He paid $100 for his sister's TY Beanie Babies collection and made an investment back 10 times over by selling them individually online. It was so successful that he started buying them wholesale and selling them on his Cheers and Tears website. But don't worry, his fortune didn't hinge on Beanie Babies. He used his greeting card and Beanie Babies money to finance his next venture,
Nice.
an email forwarding program called Easy Mail, which was soon generating $3,000 per month in ad revenue. He came up with various other products and services, and by the time he was 15 years old, he was raking in between $300,000 to $400,000 per month. He graduated high school
Sorry?
as a millionaire.
As you do.
That doesn't add up. How's it going from 3 grand
Casually.
and then to 300 grand?
Beanie Babies.
Yeah, Beanie Babies.
So here's a whole story, right? And about like how he made $2,000, $3,000 a month, like the process how he did that. Then he went, oh yeah, so then he did more stuff, and by 15 he was making this much.
Yeah, it's
They didn't have
like.
time,
Where's the
right?
actual real story we wanted to
They're
Exactly.
know?
not giving out
Like-
his secrets, okay? Because otherwise you
Fair enough.
copy him, mate.
Can we also clear up that's definitely not overnight.
Yeah.
True.
Like,
Right.
all
I
of
Yeah.
mean,
that
none of
is-
these are overnight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like,
you know, it's effectively it's an invention.
Here's an idea that's then turned
yeah,
over,
it's,
yeah.
He's basically just been an adult, and he just works.
Since he was a kid, he's been an adult.
Yeah.
When Ryan Kelly was
Shark
11
Tank.
years old,
Shark
he was on
Tank.
an episode of Shark Tank where he pitched his idea to the investors. His idea was one that was simple, but had enormous potential. He wanted to sell his line of high-quality gourmet dog treats. Now that may sound sort of
I'd try
silly,
one.
but pet pampering is actually a huge
That's for a
industry.
dog.
And it's one that tends to stay profitable despite changes in economy. After pitching his pet-friendly products on Shark Tank, he struck a deal with Barbara, accepting a $25,000 investment for 25% of his
Ooh, he did
business.
get scammed a
He
little
calls
bit.
his company Ryan's Buckery.
I mean, it's early though, it's early.
Yeah,
Offers
true.
appearance on the show. Prior
seems
to Shark
like grooming.
Tank, he
What?
was making about $800.
She's now invested in him, and she's now molding his childhood the way she wants it. Didn't say it was like. I'm just saying it's a little odd.
Easy scam.
I mean,
Why can't I just be innocent? Why has it gotta
yeah, why
be?
is it gone?
Look, I don't know what they do with it. I don't know. Sharks.
Yeah.
Go
I
on.
do over there.
Appearance, he made $350,000 in just a few months. Ryan's Barkery was once a small business that he operated out of his home kitchen, but eventually expanded to a commercial kitchen. These dog treats are available in cheddar, pumpkin apple, and peanut butter. They're all grain-free and made in the United States. These treats are available online and in many retail chains, including Wegmans and Target. According to Ryan,
Target.
Ryan taught him a lot about packaging and
Sorry.
marketing, which helped his business grow even more. Workout
That's got to be so demoralizing for people that have like spent all their adulthood just like trying to work on something.
Ultimately, that idea wasn't anything new.
No.
I think she
Yeah.
just saw the marketability of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's been on
Oh,
Shark
yeah,
Tank.
without a
People
doubt.
are already gonna be
It's
talking
easy,
about
easy
it.
clap, yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Shake
no.
Shack actually sell dog toys. If you go on Deliveroo and go Shake
Dog
Shack at the
toys?
bottom, the dog treats, yeah, for the good boys or something, and it's just dog treats.
Smart.
Yeah,
Sponsor.
she's
That's
not bad.
random.
I mean,
Most
because
sports exercise just running around. But yet, CJ Center took
Starbucks
his
does
workouts
the puppuccino
seriously.
things,
He signed up for
so.
Pee Wee football at the age of 5 and wanted to improve his physical abilities in order to play better. We all know that there are no shortage of exercise videos out there, but they're all targeted to adults. CJ saw an infomercial for the popular P90 exercise
Oh,
program,
God.
but noticed that there were no kids his age taking part.
I
He
wonder
spoke
why.
to
yeah, I was like,
Oh my
I
God.
wonder
his
why.
exercise video to help
God.
his fellow kids learn how to get fit. According to CJ, there are some kids who can reach their fitness goals from just playing outside, but others struggle to get their daily steps in. With childhood obesity at an all-time high, CJ's videos launched at just the right time. His videos are kid-friendly, and he teaches
Quite
them
smart,
to
to be
work
fair.
out with natural body resistance to avoid injury.
I reckon
They're
you'd beat me
popular
up.
because kids enjoy doing
Yeah, I bet you he
at
could.
their own age,
Yeah.
and it helps them feel inspired to reach their goals. Even CJ's parents are surprised by his drive and success, saying that he has always chosen to eat healthy and exercise exercise all on his own with no prompting from them. Wristies. Like many kids, 10-year-old KK Gregory loved playing outside in the snow. One day, she was building a snow fort when she realized that her wrist was becoming sore. Anyone who has spent time outside in the snow knows what pain is when your gloves move away from the cuff of your jacket. Your wrist can then be exposed to
Oh,
snow.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I
I know.
was just watching my
So,
girlfriend.
KK
Yeah, I didn't-
invented
yeah.
something that she calls wristies,
God.
a type of sleeve designed to be worn under mittens and coats
Pretty
to make
smart.
sure that both articles of clothing stay in place. She had her Girl Scout troop try
It's
them out
alright.
and took notes on what her test audience liked and didn't like. Inventing a great
Wristies.
product was just the first step.
No
KK
bacon
claims
hanger.
that she learned so much about business.
Oh, God.
Best
To bring
one.
wristies to the public. She became the youngest person to ever get airtime on the QVC network and earned $22,000 in just 6 minutes. The money she made from wristies allowed KK to travel all over the world before returning to take her place as CEO of Wristies. T-Packs.
Okay.
It can be hard to
Never
come up with
mentioning
activities to
millionaires.
keep
They're always saying like 22,000. Quite a long way away from a millionaire.
Yeah, you're not
That
wrong.
was on the
You're
first,
not wrong.
first QVC
I
show.
know, but then she blew it all going to Thailand to find herself.
Kelly Reinhardt's parents came up with a creative idea one day when she was 6 years old. She and her siblings were tasked with coming up with an invention and drawing a picture of it. Kelly drew inspiration from seeing cowboys wearing gun holsters on television. She kept the holster in mind while she devised a thigh pack that was instead intended to carry portable video game systems. It came out so well that Kelly decided
I
to
mean-
show it
Surely you got a millionaire
get
from
the
that.
feedback about what
Um.
such a product. After tweaking her original design, her parents helped her create prototypes and apply for a patent. At first, they started out small by selling these T-packs at local flea markets and
What
trade
game
shows.
console are
They
you putting
flew
in
off the
there?
I guess
shelves
It's
so
like a
fast
Game
they
Boy or
could barely
something.
keep up with the
Probably,
demand.
but-
Soon they had people willing to invest in their
What
company,
era is it?
and Kelly's father
Exactly.
I
I was gonna say.
Exclusive
To
to
increase their profits, they used the
games.
proceeds to invest.
Well, probably
in other
not, but
businesses.
the idea was for
I swear you see
2002,
like
Kelly
builders
said-
and stuff with those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the shape of that. I'm like, what console can you put in there? Like,
Game Boy and some games,
Console,
PSP and some games.
I was gonna say it's games in it, so you could have like a disc holder in there.
don't get it.
You're big like, I don't get
You
it.
put Uno,
No, no,
you
I
could put
don't
Uno in there if you
understand.
wanted to.
How to
That's why
become
you didn't invent it,
inventors.
Josh.
Which one of these kids do you think had the best
She's
idea
smarter
for
than
an
you.
invention?
Bacon or leaf.
Yeah, there's nothing else in there that was really like wristies, poo, not poo.
You know,
but
I actually
just-
quite like the underwater speaker thing,
Talkies.
because I imagine like if you're like, you know, like 8 years old, you're like, that's really cool. Like, oh my god, this lets us talk underwater. That's so cool. Like, let's get it and go in the sea and talk to each other.
It's
like,
an easy scam toy.
it's
Or it's gonna get guaranteed sales.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not very
Yeah.
useful, but I could see it being like a novelty.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I've run the bacon one. There's nothing else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in there that was good.
We're cynics. She would never make
Simon
it through
just
Sidemen
really-
Dragon's Den.
He
Yeah.
really likes his bacon one, doesn't he? I'm guessing something happened to Josh's either footage or camera during the recording of this, so that's why they had to put that picture. But why'd you have to pick that picture? I didn't want to look at Josh because of that picture. I was like, it makes me so uncomfortable. I don't know why, but it does. I'm like, I'm like, put Josh's beard back on there. I will not watch this video when Josh doesn't have a beard. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I mean, that's a total lie because I watched the whole damn thing, so. You know what I mean, though. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see all you beautiful, wonderful people in the next video. All right, bye.